Welcome back to Bazaar Morning Call. Hope you're having a good morning so far. The SGX 50 is indicating that the bulls may not have such a great morning, considering the global backdrop is a bit on the lower side. We have a lot of micro cues to watch out for today, so let's get straight to that. Nigel, you're watching Vedanta this morning?
Well, Vedanta, in the last hour of trade actually yesterday, the stock did see a bit of a spike up. We pull up the intraday chart. It was trading more or less flattish, and then it went to around 320. Also, just an alert for our viewers. The operational update, well, no worries out there. You know, it looked pretty okay. Aluminium, well, that was up. That was down by close to around 2% odd, but that's par for the course on a year-on-year basis. The zinc international business, we're not looking at the domestic business because we already have Hindustan Zinc that have delivered numbers. So zinc international mine metal was up by 32%. That's because BMM, which is Black Mountain Mine, well, that did see on a low base a bit of an increase of close to around 50%. That's what helped the international zinc business. The average daily gross volumes in the oil and gas business, well, that has been struggling. So on a year-on-year basis, it's low. However, on a sequential basis, that's a little bit higher. So that's good news, actually. Power business as well did come in high by close to 5%. There was higher PLF at TSPL. So that's, good news. And iron ore and steel, very small parts of their business. So given that aluminium was pretty much in line, oil is improving a little bit, and international zinc did well. Well, we're going with green on that stock. But keep in mind, the stock did see a sharp spike in the last 10 minutes of trade. But banks, they're going to be top of mind. Abhishek joins us to tell us about IndusInd Bank's operational update. Abhishek?
Well, Nigel, it's a strong operational update coming in from IndusInd Bank, especially on the loan growth front, which on a YOY basis is perhaps at a 12-quarter high. So to begin with, deposit growth is at 14.3% YOY and about 3% sequentially. The CASA ratio has actually dipped a bit given the fact that, the non-CASA portfolio of the deposit side has grown largely or higher than the CASA. So CASA ratio is at 7-quarter low of 42%. Calculation shows that it's up 2%. However, retail deposit, that takes the sheen away from CASA given the fact that retail term deposits have grown by more than 6% quarter on quarter. So the advances growth, that's pretty impressive, 19% on a YOY basis, which is perhaps the highest rate that you are seeing in terms of growth rate in the last 12 quarters. So it's up about 19% YOY and 4.55% sequentially. Credit deposit ratio has improved, which suggests that margins could improve on a quarter on quarter basis. Back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. Just want to mention that a lot of upgrades coming in on IndusInd Bank this morning. CLSA has in fact upgraded IndusInd Bank to a buy from an outperform, and they have raised their target price to 1,500, which is a big upside to the current market price. We'll keep tracking that closely. Mangalam is with us to tell us about DMart's performance. Looked like a solid showing, Mangalam?
Well, it's a steady showing for DMart, and the reason why it looks strong also is because it's the seasonally strong quarter. So quarterly revenues for the third quarter for the company have been the highest. Year on year, it's a growth of almost 25%. The 3-year revenue CAGR, if you account for the COVID-related issues, etc., as well, has been around 18.5%. So no problems out there. It is steady as she goes. 8.8% growth quarter on quarter, and that's because it is a seasonally strong quarter. They've added 4 stores in the third quarter, and in this year itself, they've added about 22 odd stores. So if you look at it from a store count basis, the year-on-year growth for stores is around 16%. Add 9% to that in terms of derived SSSG, the growth is around 25%, and that's what the company has reported. The stock is down around 15% from its 52-week high. Never been cheap, but at 73 times, it's pretty much in line with what it's been trading at in the past as well. So see some green on DMart today.
Okay, I see some green on DMart. We're also looking at green on the aviation stocks in Interglobe Aviation as well as SpiceJet. The skies are full, it seems. Domestic air passenger traffic is now back to pre-COVID levels. In fact, higher than what we saw since the COVID outbreak. In the month of December, the air passenger traffic has hit 12.9 million passengers. Now, just to put it into perspective, in December of 2019, we saw about 13 million passengers. And in Jan of 2020, it was 12.7 million passengers. So we're back to pre-COVID levels in terms of air passenger traffic. In fact, on a single day, that's on Christmas Eve, you saw 435 passengers, which was a record high on a single day on 2,904 flights. So Merry Christmas to a lot of those people who were in the air.
And my sympathies with those who were caught in the airport, and I know some stories there. But okay, let's get back to the banks because they are the toast of the morning. Abhishek, you also have numbers from Equitas and PSB, Punjab Sind Bank.
Well, for Equitas Small Finance Bank, RBI has approved acquisition of up to 9.99% by SBI Mutual Fund. So currently, SBI Mutual Fund holds about 3.09% in Equitas Bank and about 3.61% in Equitas Holding. Remember that Equitas Holding will be merged with the Equitas Bank. So that merger actually needs approval for any individual stake going above 5%. Recently, we also had approval coming in for DSP investor managers who post the merger will hold around 6% in the merged entity. So second approval coming in for Equitas in terms of stake above 5%. Punjab and Sindh Bank, they reported their business update for the first time. Robust loan growth seen over there. Deposits up 9% YOY and about 4% sequentially. The gross advances that grew by 17% YOY and about 5.84% quarter on quarter. So the CASA is also up 11.3% YOY and about 3.9% sequentially. CASA ratio almost stable on a sequential basis. Credit to deposit ratio has also improved, which suggests that in a rising interest rate scenario, you could see upside in the net interest margin on a sequential basis. Back to you.
Okay, all right, Abhishek, thanks a lot for that. Let's hop across to Rima. She's here to tell us about RailTel as well as LTIMindtree. Rima?
Thanks so much for that. So RailTel, it's an order win. The company announced that it's won an order worth 186 crore for a period of 5 years. And recently, the company, towards the end of December, had also announced an order win to the tune of 98 crore. So in the last fortnight, they've seen 2 big orders. So that's a positive. The other one I'm tracking is LTIMindtree, because the company has seen its first big exit since the merger. Whole-time director and markets president Venu Gopal Lamba has resigned. Now, this news doesn't come as a surprise because post the merger, Sudhir Chaturvedi and Venu Lamba were both given the same designation of president markets. So the expectation was between the two, one of them would resign, and that's come through. But he's a big face, and that resignation perhaps could, dent the sentiment on LTIMindtree ahead of earnings. Back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. So perhaps there could be some sentiment weakness there. Surbhi is joining in. She's tracking Angel One this morning. How did the numbers look, Surbhi?
Hi, so the numbers were better than the November business update that had given. The gross client acquisitions was marginally up by 2% on a month-on-month basis. The number of orders that were up 22% this month, but remember the number of trading days were also higher this month. The client funding book was up 18% on a month-on-month basis at 1375 crores. They have gained market share in F&O segment and the commodity segment. F&O market share is up 71 basis points and commodity market share is up 140 basis points back to 53% that they reported in October. So a green for Angel One.
Okay, thanks for that, Surabhi. And of course, the most important cue would be crude. So let's get Manisha in. Good morning, Manisha. Crude slump?
Oh, well, yes, the first full day of 2023, and we have seen a sharp decline across energy gas commodities. So the crude oil prices fell 4% overnight, and with that, they have come off their one-month highs. $4 of a decline is what we are trading with. Heating oil prices have declined 5% overnight. Natural gas prices fell 10% overnight, and with that, many of these energy commodities are now at a pre-invasion level. But 3 factors which led to decline. One was the China PMI data, which has contracted for a 5th straight month in December, has now declined to 49. The second is the IMF warning that 2023 will be a tough year for growth in China, European Union, and US. And third is that China has raised export quota for refined oil products. That tells you that the domestic demand continues to be on the weaker side. From here on, it will be about the US Fed meeting minutes today and the US non-farm payroll data on Friday. That would give you further direction.
Okay, all right, Manisha, thanks a lot for that. Well, here's a quick recap of all the stocks that we just covered for you. Stocks with positive news flow include IndusInd Bank, Avenue Supermarts, Vedanta, Interglobe Aviation, Equitas Small Finance Bank, Punjab and Sindh Bank, RailTel Corporation, and Angel One. While stocks with negative news flow, they include LTIMindtree and ONGC.
All right, let's do one thing. So many stocks to talk about. So we'll take a quick breather. We'll come back after a short break with Deven Choksi of KR Choksi Securities to talk about all of these names. And later, remember M&M Financial came out yesterday with its disbursement numbers. Look pretty good. Ramesh Iyer of the company will be joining in to discuss their business update for the month of December. Stay tuned.